old reclaimed wood. That's what we're gonna call this. A buddy of mine had some beams out at his ranch. We thought, well, I'll take them and make something with them because he didn't know what to do with them. Went to ChatGPT, tried to give me some inspiration, and I gave them the specs of what I had and said, I want to build a modern bench out of it. Well, ChatGPT is a little squirrely, and while it does make the effort, I get about a C- for its finish. But it did finally give me an upside down render of what I was kind of looking to do, and that's all I need. So we're gonna put these on the mill and get them down to what I call spec, and we'll turn it into a cool modern bench. And we'll return that bench back to the ranch. Hopefully everybody's happy with it.
The time in the world now, I just need more, I just need more. Take me down the desert roads. We crash the car, getting stoned. Life is still all a mystery. Now it's all
First order of business is let's get this thing cut to length. I'm gonna go for 55 inches, and I'm gonna kind of cut that out of the middle of this piece because the ends were pretty chattered and worn. This was in a covered porch, but it's super dry. It's been out there for years. West Texas heat and weather, facing north. But I'll get the seat and the two legs cut, and then I'll have another piece that I will cut stretchers from, and we'll kind of go from there.
now, I just need more, I just need more. We had all the time in the world, now I just need more, I just need more. We had all the time in the world, now I just need more, I just need more. And it's been so long, you know, 'cause I've been living my whole life wishing I could turn back time, never stop to realize all the while it was going
All right, so I have milled down those old boards or beams or whatever you want to call them, 2 of them, and I've got everything I need. You know, we looked at the ChatGPT design, which was left a lot to be desired because it's very confusing. Some of it's inconsistent and not right. But the general idea, and quite frankly, the 3D rendering upside down that I got gave me the best indication of what I want it to look like and how we're going to have this thing put together. So I've got the main seat, the legs, a new stretcher, which is not in the prescribed ChatGPT version, and 2 cleats. I don't know if I'll do cross cleats or not. I don't think I'm going to need them. I'm a little hesitant to even put these in because I don't think I'm going to need them. But this will give me an opportunity to use the pocket gauge for the first time. Because I don't know about any of the other new woodworkers out there, but quite frankly, that's something I want to make sure I practice a little bit and get good at before I commit to doing a better piece of furniture here. One of the things I was going to talk about is, a lot of the benches, the stool that I did, that was in this it's called Eastern Red Cedar. This, I think, is Western Red Cedar. Neither of which are truly cedars. Cedars are fairly, exotic woods from Europe and Asia. The Lebanese cedar, which is well on their national flag, is extremely rare and very hard to come by, and they don't cut them down. They're sacred, quite frankly. But they all share similar traits. This red cedar is, or the eastern red cedar, which grows right here in Texas, fine, is a denser, heavier sort of cedar, and it's actually a juniper. Whereas this western red cedar, eastern red cedar, western red cedar, this is actually a cypress, and this is from the Northwest, where most of that comes from. And it's abundant. So either one are great. They're both bug repellent. They both share very similar characteristics. But one thing I noticed about this is, it's so light. That stuff, the eastern red cedar is not light. It may be soft, or softer, but it is a heavier, denser wood, certainly the trees that we have. So all of that said, it's sanding time. And that's gonna occupy a lot of time, a little bit for you, a lot for me. We'll come back to it later.
I kind of think sanding gets a bad rap. I say that because it's, always put off, and every video I watch is like, well, we're going to save you the time, and I'm not going to subject you to watching me sand, which I get. I do that too. But that's really almost, in something like this, maybe 50% of your work. That's a lot of the craft. And I'm learning more and more about the wood grain and the wood behaviors by sanding. This cedar may also get kind of a bad name as a weak wood that doesn't do much, but it has so much to offer in its grain. Both the western cedar and the eastern cedar, they're absolutely gorgeous. And for that, I thought maybe we deserved a little slow-mo sequence here, which you're not going to see very often, but I thought it was kind of cool to throw that thing into slow motion and see what kind of cool footage we could get. Okay, so confession time. I did get the 320 Kreg pocket hole jig, and it's great. I want to complain about it a little bit here later. But I kind of struggled figuring it out. I did practice on a couple scrap pieces, thought I figured it out, and honestly, I didn't trust the process probably enough. And probably should have watched a few more videos, something independent of their website that gives you, kind of the basics and what to expect. But I struggled with it a little bit, and you'll see why, and you'll see how. There's some mistakes made, and I've got to make up for those. But here again, it's just another tool, and the more you use it, the better you get. I will get better at it. I think these sort of tools, they're super handy, and they definitely save you time, and they give you a much more professional, refined look. And I love all that. But you really do have to put some time in on learning these things. And any new woodworkers, I highly recommend it. But slap some scraps together and get really proficient at it. Maybe do more than what I did, certainly. So for instance, I knew just by knowing the nature of wood and gluing things that if I set that leg on there and try to screw it in without keeping it moving, it's going to slide right off and move. So I was hoping this little 2-inch block here would be enough to keep it from moving. And truthfully, it should have been much, much longer or taller to keep that entire board from me, because you can see right there, that edge slipped out on me. And I'll get into that more here in a minute and show you what happened. But these are the sort of things that you kind of need to learn to anticipate, and unless you're doing the work, you're not going to fail and you're not going to learn. So I failed and I learned, and I've got to make up for it in other ways that are probably a little unorthodox. But here I go. I'm going to keep forging ahead, do the same thing on this side, and try to prevent it from happening. Turns out Kreg does, and a couple other manufacturers do make blocks that you can, basically jigs or clamps that you can hold those things in place to keep them from moving at all. And definitely worth looking into. And I could have done something a little better myself with what I have, and I just didn't quite know the rules. So chalk it all up to experience and move on.
If you'll remember, the ChatGPT software suggested I do 2 cleats, is what they called them. I would call them stretchers, I guess. I don't know, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. They called for 2 here, 1 here and 1 here. And then a couple others right there. I don't see how that helps my rigidity or, firm up the piece at all. So I think I'm taking these guys out, and this is why I finished this other piece, which is just gorgeous. I will probably put it here. We'll clamp and glue it and hope for the best. And I'll do a couple pocket holes in there as well. Tell me what you think. Put your comments in the comment section below and tell me what you think you'd do. I think this looks better. It's cleaner, it's tighter. It'll help pull in those legs just a little bit. And I think it's a better look. So I'm gonna measure, I guess somewhat arbitrarily, probably about 4 inches down to there, and place it. Do the pocket hole jig, which is not my favorite thing right now. I'll be honest with you, that thing did not work the way I wanted it to. And I'm sure it's operator 100%. Because this corner did good, this one pulled off. This corner did good, but this one pulled off. In other words, that bottom edge shifted off the edge there, and that irritates the hell out of me, because I'm gonna have to figure out how to sand that down and get them nice and tight. And it's just not gonna look perfect, which is what I'm going for here, all the time, right?
For the road all my life, thirsty for adventure all my youth, chasing all my freedoms down Liberty Avenue. And every time I hear a phrase my mother used to say to me,
this piece has a split in it. Which I cannot, if I drill it in, it'll split it more. So let's glue it.
Home, home, just a little taste of home. I need a little taste of home, home, home. I need a little taste of home.
Be real careful when you're gluing that you don't glue this piece to that piece, because that'd be a bloody disaster.
Steam coming up off the stove, photographs down the staircase showing our stories unfold. And every time I hear a song my father used to sing to me, sweet words of an Irish lullaby, I get
What?
the feeling I need.
What's happening here?
Home, home, I need a little taste of
Quarter.
home.
So that's correct.
Home, 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 just a little taste
unfortunately, it's created a huge gap in here. And this one doesn't seem to have sucked in tight enough. And that, my friends, is what separates the men from the boys. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It's fine from there until you come here.
Just buy my ticket, pick up the phone.
That's not good. That's not good.
Called in to tell you that I'm coming.
So for these outside deal, I'm just gonna remove material until it's flush. It's pretty aggressive, but I feel like that's the only call. And then what I may do is fill in wood dough here, and even these gaps that were way too big in here, I'm gonna just cram as much wood dough in there as I possibly can. I know that's very amateur, but quite frankly, I don't wanna mill another piece. I just don't have the time for that. So I'm gonna fill these with wood dough and then sand it to flush, get these to all match up nice and clean, and touch everything after that.
In my defense, one reason I say I don't have time is because I truly don't have time trying to get these videos out once a week if possible. Sometimes it's longer than that because projects just take time. But to be a YouTube creator, this is a real job, and this is how I hope to make my living. So with that said, give me a like down at the bottom there and give me a subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it makes a world of difference for me. I would really appreciate it. Any help in that direction is so appreciated. And hopefully I've earned it, and I will continue to keep working to earn it. So thank you.
Small town. Hang a sign, this heart is closed. I'm gonna hit the open road. I'm giving up on settling down. I've been left at the altar, been left at the bar. Gave all I got to love, all I got was a broken heart. But I got my...
And once again, I am leaning into the Minwax pasting wax. I absolutely love how this hardens the wood on the surface. It really gets in there and solidifies everything, and it brings out the grain. It's a natural kind of color, so we're making the very best of what this cedar has to offer. It takes a little work, and here again, that's kind of the craft. And yes, it is satisfying to do. It's probably one of the most satisfying things in the craft is finishing out your wood. I'm gonna get in there, rub it down. You kind of buff as you go. I will someday try to get a buffer out there and try that again. And I will obviously try the Rubio monocoats and all those sort of things with walrus oils, but this right really does the trick, and super happy with how this thing turned out. Very, very happy. It took some work, and there are some flaws, and I know that. You know, I wouldn't enter this in any competition or anything like that, but I think I'm happy with it. I think Russell, my buddy, will be super happy with it, and I definitely think my skills have grown. Thanks, guys.